All right, guys, good morning, and thank you all for being here. I'm coming to you alive, full of energy, full of passion, and always full of gratitude. So you guys, I'm stoked about this morning's conversation. We're going to go full tilt. And before we get started, before we get rolling, what I want to encourage everybody to do is not have this on as background noise. And if you're driving, I get that. I respect that. We have kids, we have places to go. However, if you're in a stationary place and you could sit down and take some notes, what I want you guys to do is I want you to take some notes from today that you can instantly go back and convey information to your consumers. What I want this time to be is never to be spent in vain. This time should be able to say, you know what, I've learned one thing today from this group that I'm going to go apply to my consumers today right after the session while it's fresh in my mind. So before we get rolling, you guys, I want to welcome, if you are a guest here, welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching. We do these sessions 3 times a week, and this is rooted in one thing: collective wisdom. We bring people together. This is the mastermind. This is us sharing thoughts. We contribute to one another. So we're going to leave some time after Minh does his presentation for some Q&A. So thank you guys for being here. I'm super humbled, and thanks for spending some of your time with us. So as always, in true Keep It Moving fashion, we are going to have somebody take us out on the field. And if you're a guest, that just means we are having somebody bring us out on the field for battle. So I'm actually going to call on Jess, the Bling Realtor. I don't think she's done this yet. Look at her. She's like Elias. Hold on. So Jess, I'm going to have you bring the troops out into the field. You've heard this before. You know what to do. So without further ado, Jess, I'm going to turn the mic over to you and have you bring everyone out on the field. You ready for us?
I hope so.
All right, hit us.
All right. I think it's like a little bit like of a motivational, like get your shit right today, right?
That's right. That's right.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's the message. That's it. Get your shit done. Prioritize your top 3 things that gotta get done that'll make you feel like a fucking boss. That's it.
Right.
Write them down, accomplish them. That's it.
That's right. Prioritize your day. So good stuff. So I had the opportunity to meet Minh. I think last year we did a social media workshop in Irvine. Actually, I met him because of Vanessa. Vanessa reached out to him, and really stoked to have you on here because there's tons of people that do market updates. There's tons of lenders out there that do market updates. And quite frankly, I'll just be honest, if I'm being real with everyone, sometimes that information is really, really hard to understand and then be able to articulate it back to consumers and other people that ask about the market. And one thing, when you think about his specialty, and I wrote this down, that he has a specialty in communicating transparency to help consumers, right? In a way that they actually understand. And he's been able to leverage his presence on social media to really build a great following. And every single thing that he's done has been rooted in education. So Minh, you got a lot of followers on here. You got a lot of people that admire what you do on social media and the content that you're creating. So I'm looking forward to our session today. Let's go full tilt. It's usually about 35 to 40 minutes of mic time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to leave some room for you guys to ask some questions. And so, Minh, I'm actually going to turn the mic over to you. So if you guys are our team members on here, can we just give our guest a giant round of applause, show him some love for spending some time with us today. So, Minh, I'm super stoked. And for all of our guests, thank you for being here. And let's just go, Minh. I'm going to make you the host. And then we're just going to go full tilt, my man. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, I met Elias a couple, I think last year, and I love the energy that this group brings, and I love the community that the group has together. I've spoken other places and I've talked to other people. There is a community, but this tight-knit group does a lot to help each other. And that's a good thing, especially walking into this market. You know, when you have people believe in the same things and actually move forward together and activate the same thing, that's when you're going to see victory. There's not a lot of victory right now for lone soldiers. Of course, there's seasons and times when that is true. But right now, having the same mindset, believing and actually walking together is where you're going to have victory, especially you're dealing with the media. And I truly believe the media is full of crap. And if you want victory today, you got to like speak to each other, you know, praise each other, motivate each other. That's the only way you're going to win right now. The reason why I believe this, first, I'm going to do 3 things today. I'm going to talk about what's going on in the market, so you guys have a game plan. We're going to go over the changes to mortgages. 2023 has been a huge change to what's going on in mortgage and real estate. We're going to go over that. And then the third thing, I'm going to give you guys the little tweaks that has happened in social media. I don't know if you know, I went from 60,000 followers January 2023 to 100 and about 14,000 in about 3 months. So there's big changes that happen in social, and that's organically on TikTok. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. So I'm going to go over the changes that you can make with the information I provide you so you can elevate your game and put your information out there. All right. So, of course, today, the big inflation report came out. So inflation came in at 5.6%. So if you guys who don't know, inflation needs to be at 2%. So that means they have to do everything they can to get inflation down to 2%. And as soon as inflation comes down, guess what else is going to come down? Mortgage rates. So whatever rate condition anyone's in right now, it's temporary, okay? So if they bought a home last year, like, oh, I bought my home last year with you, I overpaid, relax. When as soon as inflation comes down, you will gain your equity back. For those of you who have clients that kind of had a regretful buying, and those of you who have clients who are sitting on the fence, tell them, hey, as soon as inflation comes down, we will have lower mortgage rates. And if inflation is not down yet, and depending on where you're buying, do you see inventory? This is the time to get your feet wet and enter the market, because as inflation pulls back, more buyers will enter back into the market and you have a less chance to get your home. Okay. So that's one thing we're preaching to all of our buyers right now, is that get in right now before inflation comes down. Yes, as inflation comes down, you will see more inventory, but you'll also see more buyers. Are you ready to overbid again? And we already sampled that in California with this dream program coming out that ended in like 12 days. We saw there are buyers out there with big down payments just waiting. And they saw a program come out and they came out of the woodworks. And all of a sudden people are overbidding again. Okay. So maybe that program is gone, but as soon as rates get lower, what do you think is going to happen? So get your buyers excited and understand that, hey, don't sit on the sideline, because as soon as inflation comes down, you are really going to have to compete again. And as you know, that shelter inflation makes up about 45% of CPI, right? Consumer Price Index. So shelter inflation is housing rent. So if you saw today's CPI report, inflation, shelter inflation is coming down. So as soon as shelter inflation comes down, which weighs heavy on inflation, that's when you see the huge drop. We're probably going to see this huge drop. I know Barry Habib has said May 10th. I think June or July. The reason why I believe so, because June 2022 is when CPI was at its highest, which is inflation, right? When you say CPI, it means inflation. It was at 9.1%. That was off of May's number. So as soon as May's number comes out again in June at a lower number, you will see inflation come down drastically. And as you see inflation come down, get ready for lower rates, okay? So that's what's going on in the market right now. And this, the crazy thing about 2023 is that the government is doing everything they can to bring more buyers back in the market. And the reason why you need to understand that, you need to convey that to your people who want to buy, okay? Also your people who want to sell. Why do I say that? Think about this. On conventional loans, they just came out with a new rule that if you can make if you have any issues of hardship due to COVID-19, which ended 2 years ago, so there's using an excuse, you can skip mortgage payments for 6 more months and add it back as forbearance. That just came out. So if you have a conventional loan and you can't make mortgage payments, you can delay it. So these homes aren't going to hit the market for sale. If you have an FHA loan, they just added a 40-year amortization. So if you can't make mortgage payments due to COVID, or you have lack of funds coming in, now you're lowering the payment. So you're not seeing these properties hit the market. And it sucks to say that they're not letting nature take its course. Okay. Right. The circle of life. There's no circle of life, guys. Right. Typically, for people to buy a home, people have to sell. The circle of life has to go on. But they're not permitting that to happen by stopping these homes from going into foreclosure. It sucks, but that sometimes needs to happen. So if you're not seeing more inventory from foreclosures or people have to sell, now you have higher interest rates. What happens with the Fed, all these Fed rate hikes? Builders aren't building. There's no profitability. So you have people who don't have to sell if they're in a bad situation. You have builders who aren't building because rates are up, and you have homeowners. 38% of homeowners don't have mortgages, right? 66 to 68% have interest rates under 4%. You think they're going anywhere? Okay. And 95% have lower rates than today. So until rates come down, people aren't going to jump up to sell. Even if they do, you're dealing with, it's free, it just froze, right? Is this for
Yeah,
me?
we can hear. We
Oh,
can
you
hear
can hear
you.
me? So okay, so
You're frozen.
even with what's it called? I'm going to lose my words here. So even with until rates come down, people aren't going to sell. Even if they sell, like if you have a 4%, you would need what, a solid 6 or 5 to sell. No one's going to trade up, right, with a 6 or 7. So you're not seeing more inventory. So now you have people who aren't forced to sell, builders aren't building, people who don't want to upgrade. And imagine if you are a homeowner and you have what, over 500 grand in equity, if you upgrade and you put all that money into your new home, anything over 500,000, you have to pay capital gains on that. And guess what they're doing? They're proposing to raise capital gains. As an individual, anything over 250,000, even though you take all the money and you pump into your next other property, you like no cash in hand, you would have to pay capital gains on that money, right? I'm not saying I'm pro Biden or against Biden, but the new rule that he's trying to, the new act he's trying to propose, they're raising capital gains. So now with taxes, they're not allowing people to upgrade. And then they start unleashing all these down payment assistance programs. We don't need more buyers. We need more inventory. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is so you understand and have the deep conviction, we have a limited amount of inventory. If you truly care about your clients, the passion will come out your eyes and they will see your passion. You ever look into your spouse's eyes, give them that lip, right? You bite that lip, you give them that look. They know you got that passion, right? They know you bite your lip, right? You give them that passion, right? You get that John Buell, you get that LL Cool J. All right, no, that's my DoorDash look when the DoorDash pulls up, but you get what I'm saying, that conviction. So the reason why I give you all these statistics and these numbers, so you start building the conviction in here. Because when you have it in here, it's going to come out here in your social. So the next handful of months, we will see rates pull back. And when we do, you will see a floodgates of buyers, but there will be a limited amount of inventory. So start preparing yourself. I'm probably going to have to write multiple offers. I need to start coming up with content and strategy to get these buyers into homes. You know, as you also know, over in China, they unlock some rules. You're starting to see Chinese people come over to back to Northern Cal again. There's gonna be bidding wars again. So this drought of rates where rates were high and all the things that was going on, they were just slowing down demand and penting up demand, right? But it's going to be unleashed and just be ready for it. So that's what's going on in the market. So now let's talk about what can you do for your buyers, okay? So there's the changes that happen to conventional loan and FHA loan, and you should know the difference. Your lender should know it, but if they don't, you should know at least a little bit about what's going on, okay? Let's pull up the slides. All this information helpful, guys? So far, we got some information on the market that's helping empower you guys on what's going on.
Fire. So then 2 options here. I can either have you share screen rights or make you the host. That way you're not having to let people in when they struggle in.
Andy, what do you want to do? Just give me just make me host.
All right, cool. And then let me
make them co-hosts.
Can you make
me
host?
I don't see that option, Kenny. I was looking for it right now, but I only see make host. So let's do that. I'm just going to make you the host right now, and then boom, you got it, bro.
All right, Andy.
There we are.
So everyone understand what's going on in the market. So yeah, after we're done, we can Q&A on the market. We can Q&A on the loan program changes, and then we can also go over social if you guys have social questions. All right. So of course, you guys know there's 2 changes that happen to 2 big programs: conventional loans and government loans. And of course, as these guidelines change, it's going to change the way your buyers view how they're going to own a home. Okay. Also, it's going to make some changes where, you know what, it might not be worth putting in a big down payment. I went over that in one of my reels. And if you guys notice, my reels recently have nothing to do with, these are the 4 ways to do this, the 5 ways to do that. Those are the things people don't care about. What they care about, which I'll go over in social, is debunking what everyone has told them about society, right? If you got to debunk that. And that's the reason why I'm having so much controversy in my TikToks and my reels right now. And that's driving my traffic, right? If you watch my content, it doesn't match anyone else's content. Of course, I pat myself on the back for having original content. But if you notice the information, it's not the information everyone else has. It's information to debunk or break some rule that everyone believed in, okay? So let's go into conventional and FHA updates. Let me see the next slide here. Is it like, all right, here we go. 1 second, taking over the mouse, Andy. So conventional and FHA mortgage updates. Conventional changes, okay? So can we move my body or move me to the shrink me? Yeah, there we go. Slim fast me, man. Make me feel a little skinnier, make me smaller. So as you guys know, and this is the big one that for content as well. So you guys can use this information for content. Eliza, I can send you the PDF later if you want to as well, if you guys don't want to make it yourself. If you look at the new changes to the loan level pricing adjustments, the buyer with the bigger down payment has a higher interest rate. So imagine if you had a 740 credit score and you were putting 20%, 15 to 20% down, you have a 7/8 to a 1% hit. The buyer with a lower down payment has the lower hit. That is a huge change to the market. So when you're dealing with these buyers and they're putting under 20% down, you might want to have your lender or talk to your buyer, play with the numbers and come in with a lower down payment to get the lower interest rate. So that's a big change that happened. It's a very good talking topic when you're talking about social media, but just understand, like, the bigger down payment doesn't mean the lower rate. It's better that your clients hold back their money. You want to be the professional. Hey, come in less out of pocket. You're getting a lower rate. That's going to allow you to keep more money for cash flow, to pay off debt, or for emergencies. Don't think that if you come in with a bigger down payment, it's going to drop your monthly mortgage payment or your interest significantly. Okay, so it's a new rule that came out. It's for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans, conventional loans only. Okay, so that's one new rule that changed, and it's going to really take into effect when they actually have to price out a loan. When you see these numbers, I just want you guys to understand that, right? These are most of the down payments are from 5% to about 20%. Of course, when you go more than that, things change. But just understand that you see these figures, but when they calculate the rate, you will have such a high payment. And if you guys haven't seen my TikToks recently, I've compared conventional versus FHA. And you'll see that once you see the rate. People are like, oh, this guy is full of crap. He's showing the conventional is a higher rate, because the rate is higher and is significantly higher. And that makes a big difference, because when your borrower makes their mortgage payment and there's a higher interest rate, they pay less principal and more interest. Aren't you the superstar that's going to help your client eliminate less interest, pay more principal? Why is that a big deal to you? What happens when they sell their house with you? They're going to have more back to take to their next home. That's why it's important that you understand this. Hey, listen to me. Come less out of pocket. You get a lower rate. So when you make a mortgage payment, you pay into more principal. So when you sell your house with me to upgrade, so you start planting the seed, they're going to sell their house with you, right? So you already start taking over on the next sale. They're going to sell the house with you. When you sell your house with me to upgrade, you're going to have more equity to take with you. Now, like, I trust this person. I want to work with this person. Okay. Also, now with the new changes, you got investment buyers, second home buyers. They just increased the loan level pricing adjustment from 3% to 4.125 on investment property. It's important that you know this. The reason why it's important that you know this is when you try to find a client in investment property, there's going to be more out of pocket. So make sure your lender budgets for more out of pocket. And the second thing, rates will be higher. So you have to budget for more cash flow. So if you're helping your client find an investment property, you probably need to find either come in with more down for more cash flow, or you got to be a little particular on what property you pick if they're looking for cash flow. With the new adjustments increasing rates so much that you need a little extra love. So when you're talking about, hey, you're buying investment, awesome. Let's have a good game plan. I know we need more out of pocket. Start setting up their expectation, okay? Second, in second homes, when people were buying Airbnbs up the wazoo the last couple of years, they treat it like an owner-occupied home, okay? That means there was no loan level pricing adjustments. Now, there's an adjustment of 4.125. On a second investment or second home, vacation home, you couldn't use rental income to help you qualify. That was a benefit. That benefit goes out the door now, because you will for sure need rental income, because there's a 2.5 hit added to the rate. So now I think a lot of people probably won't do the second home. Oh, I want to buy a vacation home. Relax. It might be better that we go 15% down instead of 10 and go with a investment home, because the hits are going to be the same. And you need to know this information so you can manage your buyer's expectation. The people that I see fall out of escrow have lenders and realtors that can't manage their expectation. The reason why my wife stays married to me in my crazy schedule with everything I'm doing is because I manage her expectation. So you need to do the same. Be the professional. You ever walked into a doctor's office and they're going to work on you and they don't know what they're doing? They're like, but you're going to get the hell out of there, right? They're walking there with a knife, like to cut you up, and they feel like their hands are shaking. Would you let them perform surgery on you? Of course not. So you want to make sure you have that same confidence. And that's why I'm providing this information for you. So you understand, like, hey, bigger down payment. Whoa, let me take a step back here. Okay, when you sell an upgrade, you might lose a little bit of equity. Let me help you get more equity. Or you're buying investment or second home. Ooh, let's make some changes. Doesn't mean they're not going to buy. If you attack the situation, you don't need to be defensive so that they don't back out, right? So if I know someone is going to be nervous, I attack the problems up front and I answer it so that we can move forward to the next step of getting that application, all right? Another one, big one is probably going to happen this summer. Conventional loans. They were going to pass this rule and then they backpedaled, but they're going to release it this summer if it's going to happen. 40% debt to income ratio rule. So on a conventional loan, if you're over 40% DTI, which is going to be a lot of loans, there's an extra 3/8 hit to the interest rate. Okay, 3/8 to a quarter hit. It blows my mind. So you have a higher hit for bigger down payment and you get a higher hit for DTI. And if you have investments too or second home, it just keeps increasing. So that's why I think they know that rates are going to pull back. So they're shoving in all their fees right now. That's what I feel like the banks are doing. And of course, when you say that to people, you take pressure off of yourself. You're not the one hiking rates. You're not the bad person. It's these banks. It's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac as FHFA, right? You know what? It's not I didn't do this, but this is why you're seeing what you're seeing. And this is why you're seeing higher interest rates on conventional over FHA. The difference used to be 0.5%. It's almost 1% or more now from FHA and conventional. So when you're walking into 2023, when your client goes conventional, you need to have a good game plan. You need to know there's a battle with rates and fees, and you want to know up front so you can attack the situation, okay? So those are the changes that happen with conventional loans. So understand that. Next one. But for some reason, you have a client under 100% of the area median income. Okay, there's a Fannie Mae tool you can look up. They waive all the adjustments. Okay, that was my best video when I talked about being under the 100% of the AMI. It would waive all these LLPAs. Of course, it is an anomaly. Maybe Central California, they might fall under the AMI, but most places, they're not going to fall under the AMI. But if they do, all those get wiped out and they get a smoking deal. They can go there. And the reason why I use this tool, not because I know they're going to pass, because I know I'm getting them to do an action. So the best way that we close people at our office, especially we do a lot of social media leads, we get them to always move forward. Let them use the AMI tool so they can see for themselves they're above the AMI. So as they start moving forward, they're inching closer to an application, closer to a home search, and closer to going out there with you seeing a house. Okay, big thing to know. This was probably my number one ad was if you were below 100% of the AMI, no one was. I think I maybe one that was like a unicorn. But outside of that, there wasn't a lot of people, but they moved forward with me. They still applied with me because I provided knowledge for them. Okay, so now let's talk about the changes with FHA. So I really feel they're pushing FHA hard because of upfront PMI. And they know that when you have an FHA loan, you're typically going to stay FHA for a long season of time. So with an FHA loan, they dropped the PMI from 0.85 to 0.55 with under 5% down, from 0.55 to 0.50 with 5% down or more. That makes PMI on FHA drop significantly, and it made the payments more affordable. So that's why I'm pushing FHA really hard, not because we don't make more money. It's just easier to get into escrow, and you'll see the payments are a lot lower now. With rates being lower on FHA, with PMI being lower, even with the upfront PMI, you're getting your borrower in a better position to own a home, okay? Because if they see that conventional payment first, like, I might not buy. But if you can get a lower payment for them, it might help them pull the trigger, okay? And if those of you guys, you have jumbo loans, If it was me and you love your clients as a lender, of course, I don't spread this word out loud, but I do tell people, just go to the bank. If your loan amount is between 750 and up, go to the bank, 10% down, no PMI on a jumbo loan, take it and run with it. Even if it's high balance. You know, I don't like doing loans for high balance people, because I know as soon as they go to the bank and then you'll get that EMD check, the better deal is to go jumbo 10% down. So if you have a loan amount 750 to 1.1 million or 1 million, which is conventional high balance in certain areas, just go to the bank, 10% down, no PMI, your client will love you. And the rate's like 5.65 over a 6% FHA or over a 6.875 conventional loan right now. So do your clients a favor. Don't call me, don't call your lender. Loan amounts over 750, just go to the bank. Okay. And they'll love you for that. They'll know that you are looking out for their best interests. People refer me so much business because I give out all the jumbos. All right. So useful information so far. You guys understand, see the changes?
Yes.
So next, Andy, can we shrink this? So now let's talk about, let's do some comparisons so you guys see it. Can we shrink the scenarios, Andy, or no? Or shrink me so we can see the scenario, something like that. So you can see here, conventional.
No, you can.
We can't shrink the scenario, so the slides weren't. I do apologize. So I'll send you guys a slide. You'll see the numbers more clearly. So we look at conventional 5% down versus FHA 3.5% down. Look at the payment difference here: 46.78, 45.21. So at this point now, you get to save yourself 1.5%, and the payment's almost the same. So if you have a buyer with a 660 credit score or conventional person with a 740, the payments are almost identical. Okay, with a 3.5% down, you can see not too big of a difference, right, guys? So you understand that they can save some money, or they can use that 1.5% buy down the rate. There's a lot they can do without coming out with 5% down if they want to save a little money out of pocket. If they're concerned about the monthly payment, conventional 5% down beats the FHA. Next slide. Oh, no, next slide. I'll go next slide. Now let's go, check this out. Conventional 5% down versus FHA 5% down. 660 FHA, 740 conventional. Look at the FHA 5% down, 44.38. A little bit over $200 of a difference to go FHA with the same out of pocket. So with that extra $200 a month, $250 a month, that's about another $25,000, $30,000 in buying power. So if you have a buyer that's stuck, like, man, they qualify, but the house they want is about $30,000 more, flip them FHA. Now they can get that house with the same payment, right? So think about that as you're out there helping your buyers find a house. Oh, they're short a couple. What are they going? They're going conventional. All right, let me flip them FHA and get them a better deal. You see now with the FHA with the lower rate, and you can see with the lower PMI now that FHA is beating conventional when you want to compare apples to apples. When you want to compare FHA 5%, conventional 5% to FHA 3.5%, conventional does win, but it barely wins. Okay. So also this should motivate your buyers. And what motivating a lot of my buyers right now, it's giving them confidence. You know why they have confidence? I have a 660 credit score and I can get the same deal as someone with a 740. For some reason, their chest gets bigger. What? I get the same deal as 740? What? And they jump on it, right? You start building their confidence. Next slide. This is the big one, guys. $600,000 purchase. $600,000 purchase, 10% down versus FHA 5% down. 44.70 versus 44.38. So you're saving more money on a 5% down FHA over a 10% down conventional. This can do a couple things for you. You can take that other 5% down that you don't have to put on a conventional loan. You can pay off a bunch of debt, gives you more cash flow, right? You can bring down the rate. You can bring in a bigger down payment. You can do a lot now with that extra money. So that's how big the changes have been happening. Your whole life, what were you taught? Get really good credit, put a big down payment down, and you will get your home. Now the person with not great credit, 660 credit score with 5% down gets the same deal for someone with a 740 credit score or better, 10% down. That's really going to change how buyers view home ownership now. And it's also going to push a lot of buyers back into the market. And the buyers that you have that have money, now they can increase their buying power because they have that extra money to, if they are, let me go FHA, use that 5% down, that extra 5% down. Let me pay off debt. Give me more cash flow. Let me buy down the rate. Let me buy out the upfront in mind. There's a lot you can do with the extra 5% now. And that should empower you to get your buyers out there shopping. I will update these slides. I'll send you guys a better copy so you guys can have them yourself. So hopefully you guys understand these are the changes that happen to mortgage. Okay. A lot is happening. It's changing the way people look at payments. It's just telling me, and it should tell you, the government is doing everything they can to bring affordability in because they're not dropping prices. Think about that. They're bringing demand into the market. They're allowing more buyers. Think about this. When you open 660 lower down payments, you're bringing in more buyers. Do you guys see that? So that right there should put fire under your buyers' butts to get out there and start shopping for a home. I see, like, I know, I believe in conspiracy theories. Don't you see it? The government can do a lot right now. They can probably do more to bring down prices. They can give tax benefits to buyers to upgrade, give incentives to give lower rates to people who upgrade, give incentives to builders to build, but they're not. They're coming up with some freaking reason to bring more buyers in, not to bring down demand by bringing more inventory. That right there should tell you, hey, don't you see this? It's happening. They can't fix the problem with inventory, so they're just trying to bring more buyers in by lower rates or lower payments. That's big in 2023. It's a major change. Okay. So of course, if you're not following me right now and you want to stay updated on what's going on my reels, also you guys can copy some of my reels. You can go to What's a Mortgage on my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or LinkedIn. All right. If you're not following me right now, hopefully this information did bring you value and you understand now, hey, if I have questions regarding content or mortgage information, you guys can send me a DM. All right. Lastly, see, if you have, hey, I have non-mortgage questions, but I want questions on social media, DM my personal page because I have my concierge team help me with my business page for all the leads that come in and out the door. So if you have Min, I have this question about TikTok or Instagram, DM me on my personal Instagram at uncle.min. Okay. And I will go ahead and answer that question. Because if you answer my what's a mortgage with those type of questions, it's probably going to be lost in the abyss. All right. So now we went over what's going on in the market. And now you know about the conspiracy theory and what you need to do to get these butts up and out shopping for a home. We went over the changes to conventional FHA loans, and now you can help your buyer put together a good strategy for home ownership. And now you look like the superstar. Now let's talk about social media. As you guys know, they're doing everything they can to ban TikTok, which for now, it's not happening. I'm sure something will happen, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So if you are actively on TikTok, I would start taking your content, putting it on YouTube Shorts and putting it on Instagram. Who cares if it's the same kind of, it's a different platform. For now, you just need momentum. Like myself, I post the same content on all the platforms and I'm still growing. I don't add or I don't come up with special content for different platforms, even though you can and people tell you can. But I know for myself, I still originate. I don't like take loan applications, but I still deal with buyers every day. So if you're still originating as a real estate agent, I'm sure you don't have time to make one piece of custom content for each platform. So it's okay. So right now, as I talked about in the past, if you are going to build content and you need ideas, you need to go to TikTok. A lot of you guys are still not using TikTok for ideas. Some of you guys I know, you're like, no, you know what? I don't want to figure out another platform. Let me go on Instagram. Just understand, ideas and strategies, they die on Instagram. They give birth on TikTok. So get on your TikTok and start using your TikTok toolbar, right? Your search bar. Go on there and look for content. So for myself right now, I'm pulling most of my content off of all the new guidelines that are happening. That makes my content a little unique. But if you are starting on social, if you are building, go on TikTok, look for content there. Look for all the top influencers, follow all the top ones and look at what they're posting. If you need ideas and strategies, a lot of you guys, you're just thinking about what you feel and you want to talk about it. You need to stop doing that. Yes, there will be a season when you can stop doing that. But for now, do me a favor, go on TikTok and look for what to post. There's another account I want you guys to follow. And this right here is a secret bullet no one knows about, or not people know about because I told them about it. Follow this lady. Her name, write this down. Naturally, NATURALLY, naturally _ Nick, NIQ. You will find her on Instagram. Okay. Yes, even though it's on Instagram, but I want you to just listen to me here. You can find her, right? Her name is Shanique Jackson. Shanique Jackson. Follow her, guys. So she took an account from 15,000 followers to 108,000 in 4 months. All she does is she does remixes, or you can call them stitches. So she just nods her head. So if you don't know what to do on social and you want to blow up, and it worked for me, November, December, my account went haywire. Okay. It went haywire and I built so much momentum. All of a sudden my other content took off as well. Sometimes people can't find you, right? They can't find you. There's so many people on social media. So if you look at this girl's technique on Instagram, she pins her talkie. So if your information is valuable, people will see it. But a lot of times you and me, we're busy working. We can't crack the algorithm and we don't have tons of money to pay other people to help us. So this is free information here for you. She picks real estate, mortgage, trust. I do a lot of trust, credit repair hacks that other people have done and did really well at it. Look at all her videos. She nods her head. That's all she does. And as she was doing that, I saw her journey. She tried real estate, didn't work. She tried mortgages, financial planning. She landed in credit repair. And all of a sudden now I see her her regular content that are non-trends or tricks or hacks starting to pick up momentum. So for those of you who don't have time to crack the algorithm, okay, that's a secret. And I'm telling you guys this right now, it worked for me. I was stuck to for a season. I was like, I'm growing, but I'm not growing at the level I wanted to. And I started doing her style. I added it into it. But of course, you know, my content is money and fire, right? But as soon as the algorithm finally found me, all of a sudden I show up. It's like, you ever watch those movies where it's like ugly duck to pretty person? They take the glasses off and all of a sudden, whoa, I didn't know that person was good looking, right? This strategy helps you take the glasses off because you're an amazing person. You're on an amazing team. People just don't know it. You have the greatness in you, and I'm sure you're going to do an amazing job as a real estate agent to help these buyers, but they'll never see it. But if you use these remixes, and if you don't know which ones to do, take hers. Eventually, you will find your own. Okay. So what I do, I don't do it as much anymore. I used to just, use hers, and then I start finding my own. Now, what I do, I go out, I look for other people's hooks. If you are looking for hooks and you want to deliver an amazing message, the real Wayne Turner. The real Wayne Turner, he is OG, triple OG. You got to follow him. Look at his hooks. This guy's an older guy who you probably look at like, this guy, why is he popular on social? Look at his hooks. His messages are outlandish. You should buy, before 30 years old, you should buy 10 investment properties. Even though it sounds outlandish, people commented and liked, it blew up his page. He has another video. You should buy your kid a home. Some people can't even buy their first home. It's outlandish, but you know what? It's real for him and it's real for his clients. And look at those video views, blew up. He talks about things like, no way, this is impossible. It causes a lot of engagement and argument, but those are the ones you see because social media wants you to see those. But if you compare it to his likes, OMG, his likes are significantly high. So those are the two accounts I want you to follow. Shanique Jackson, the real Wayne Turner. Last but not least, my mentor, who is actually part of EXP, Lauren Taylor. Okay. If you guys don't know who she is, she's out in, let me pull up her account right now. She's out in Tennessee. Nashville, like Lauren Taylor, my bad. So she helps me with my analytics. So she helps me make sure that I'm maximizing my leads. And I'm telling you right now, the reason why she's fire, even though I'm outpacing her on TikTok, I saw her lead conversions. It is insane. She's multiplied my lead conversions, and I have a huge audience. So it like 10x'd. So during this market, we were sitting pretty. That dream program kicked in. You know, we put 18 people in escrow in 12 days with that program. We already had everything set up. So you guys got to follow her. And she does lazy. I'm not talking smack. She'll tell you, she does lazy posting. She took her Instagram account from 44,000 to 99,000 in 4 months. So Lauren Taylor and Shanique Jackson are the two people that I've seen grow at this speed. That's not some like ginormous mortgage or real estate influencer that fast on Instagram. I've never seen accounts grow that fast. And for me, I'm like, damn. And I've seen accounts grow, and you guys know the ones I'm talking about. They'll be dead for a while. All of a sudden, it just picks up momentum. They're probably using bots, or they're paying for all their followers. But I'm watching these girls, and I'm watching their accounts. Like, man, they are growing at a fast pace. And I personally implement their strategies, and I'm growing at a pace I've never seen. Like, you know, I was growing, but on TikTok, like I said, I went from 60,000. I'm at 115,000. My Instagram is, is moving at a fast pace as well. I think I'm averaging about 300 to 400 people a day on TikTok, about 200 to 300 on Instagram. Both accounts should hit 200,000 if I stay on this pace by the end of the year. You need to start tracking your analytics, guys. And the best way to do it is, you got to reach out to Lauren. If not, I know for myself, we paid for her course. We're one of her students. We can't give you too much of the insight, but maybe in a couple of months, Elias, if you want to come back, we can show you guys how to, read these analytics and track them your own analytics yourself. That's another course I do for all my real estate partners, as I show them, hey, once you're putting your content out there, this is how you track it to make sure that you're not wasting your time and wasting your energy and wasting money. All right. So those are the things I would do in 2023. Hopefully I gave you guys value that you didn't have to pay $10,000, $2,000, $3,000 for, and that's real content that you're not getting from other people on how to build content and change your career. All right, guys. So we went over the market. We went over changes to loans to help you guys empower your clients, and we went over social. Hopefully, I brought you guys value. Thank you guys so much, guys.
Yes, my man, I love it. And just a little sneak peek for everybody that's on this call. Lauren Taylor will be our special guest in the next couple of weeks for a Wednesday session, but I'm sure we have quite a few questions, but Min, absolutely fire as always. I guess a lot of people are asking, and maybe you can just reiterate this or make us understand, why are the banks, I guess I wrote here, why is there a higher hit with more money down? Is it because, I think what Gary put in the chat is that the banks just want you to borrow more money, and so they're giving those people an incentive? Is that why?
I think Gary could be right. I think it is a conspiracy theory. I think people with big down payments and good credit, as soon as rates pull back, they're going to refinance sooner than later. Yeah. So I think they're trying to make all their money up front right now, and that's the reason why they're charging more. People with lower down payments and not great credit, they'll probably do a streamline, but they're not going to get out of their loan anytime soon because they're not in a position to do so. People with big down payments, they don't have to stay in their loan for a long period of time, so they can get out of it quicker. So I feel like they got to make their money now. As you guys know, the spreads are high. When I mean the spreads are high, typically when the 10-year bond, whatever the 10-year bond's at, conventional rates are 2% above that. So the 10-year right now is at 3.4. We should be at 5.4, but we're at 6.875. The spreads are high right now. I think everyone's just trying to squeeze and make their money right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the banks see them as more of a flight risk, so might as well get their money up front.
Correct.
That makes total sense. All right, cool. You guys, let's do this. We have a few minutes. Let's take a few questions. Who on the call has a question, an insight, a takeaway, something they want to share, ask? Let's utilize this time. Anybody have a question, whether it's on the social side or whether it's on the—
I have a question.
Yes, Aaliyah, can you put your camera on?
Camera off for now, because I don't think you guys want to see me right now.
Okay.
But my question is, if we have clients with 20% down that are at their max purchasing price, or max purchasing power, and there's not a lot of inventory for them, should we suggest going the other way with FHA, or at least exploring that option, or putting list down?
So what's the purchase price?
550 with 20%
550.
down, and they're looking at condos in the East Bay.
So this is what I would do. If you're at 550, the difference between 5% down and 10% down is not 10% down and 20% down. It's not gonna be a big difference. I would need to see the full scenario. I would probably go 10% down or 15 and use the other money to eliminate debt or do the buy down.
Okay.
Because on a purchase price at 550, 20% down versus 10 is not going to be a big difference, but that extra 10% down to eliminate all your debt might give you more cash flow.
Staying conventional.
Correct.
Okay.
I would look at conventional 10 or FHA 10. It depends. I would need to see the full scenario, but I would look at both. So now, see, with the new changes to conventional FHA, you don't have to go to the full 20, but you have extra money to play with debt to eliminate it. If they have no debt, different story. If they do have debt, that would give them more buying power.
Okay, thank you.
Or you go 18% down and use 2% to buy down the rate. That might give them a little more buying power.
Smart.
All right.
Awesome. Let's go to Otis, and then we'll go to Tony, and then we'll have time for just a couple more. So Otis, hit us.
Just want to thank Minh. I took a lot away from this. I wanted to ask you about rates. I know there's a lot of lenders, specifically one that I use a lot, Christina. She's been doing a permanent buy down with 1% with people since January. I'm hoping she extends it. Do you see lenders being super creative now with they knowing May 10th is coming and they know rates are going to go down? Do you see any room for that to continue in the next following months? Because you did say you see June and July. So I just wanted to know, are you doing anything special, and any stuff that you can drop a gem about that specifically?
So of course, yeah, we had as well. It's called the inflation buster. So with the inflation buster, the lender just ate a point off their rate to give the lower rate, and it lasts for a year. So that's still going on. If I know now that rates are going to come back, I would probably do a temporary buy down. I like the inflation buster right now. Not a lot of people jumped on that, but it's still available since people are going to refinance again. So I see the inflation buster being big and temporary buy downs. I wouldn't do a permanent buy down right now or buy out the PMI.
Good stuff. Awesome. Good question, Otis. Let's go to Tony, rapid fire, then Andrew, and then we'll close out with Chris. You're muted, Tony.
Hi, man. Thank you for that. Great info. I just wanted to ask really quickly if you could kind of restate what you said about on the conventional side. If the borrower has 40% DTI, you said there's going to be a 3/8 hit to the rate. Was that right?
Correct. So it was released in May, but I guess so many people kind of petitioned it. So they are going to delay it till the summer. So if your debt to income ratio is over 40%, there's an extra 0.375 hit to the interest rate, not to the rate, but to the rebate. So that can change the rate a little bit, or they're going to lose a little money on like concessions.
Okay. Thank you.
Good stuff, Tony. Andrew, Lynn, let's hear from you.
Could you go over 40-year loan modification or the new 40-year increased term? Because I've gotten questions about that from clients.
So of course the Yahoo ABC said it's for purchases, which it's not yet. Trust me, I heard it. I already prepared all the payments on the 40-year amortization. If it drops, I already have my system built out for it. So it's for loan mods. So if for some reason you can't afford your mortgage payment and you're not late, you cannot be late. Okay. On May 8th, you can modify it with your current servicer. So it's not a new loan for lenders. They would have to call their servicer. Let's say you're 3 years in your FHA or VA loan, they're going to extend the payment by 10 more years, and that's going to drop the payment.
Got it. Okay.
And I think depending on, they haven't decided yet, you might have to hold on to the loan for about a year, 2 years to refinance it in case you do want to refinance out of it.
Okay. Are there any mentions about like additional fees or anything like that?
No, not if it is typically gonna be a couple $100, nothing crazy.
Cool. Thank you.
Kind of like recasting.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Andrew. Great question. Let's go, Chris, and then we will close out with Jennifer Angel. Chris, let's hear from you. Chris B.
Hey, man, just wanted to say thanks. I'm a big fan. I really resonate with your content. Kind of helps an old guy like me just do the damn thing. But anyways, it seems like the government's kind of keeping the market going, you know, with what you've been talking about. Are you seeing lenders opening up to like stated no income, no asset type deals? Because I'm hoping not, because that's kind of like a precursor of bad things yet to come. So what are you seeing as far as that type of financing in the near future?
I see they already have it for non-qualified mortgage. But typically for non-qualified mortgage, you're going to need huge down payments. I don't think we're going to see that for, 100% financing. I think right now state to state is what, like 20, 30% down. And they're going to really make sure that you have a real company that can make the mortgage payment. So it is available, but it's for, high net worth people.
Got it. That's good to know. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. And then final question, Jennifer Angel, and then we'll close out the session.
Thank you. Minh mentioned something about
Hey, Jennifer, really quick. If you can cut your,
Can you hear me?
cut your camera, because we'll have better reception. And then she's gone. All right. So anybody else have a question? All right, guys. So listen, a couple key takeaways for me is manage buyer expectations and confidence. The more you study, the more that you read, the more that you listen, and the more that you practice the articulation and how it's actually going to come out to a consumer, the more confident that you're going to feel. If someone asks you about inflation, if somebody asks you about where is interest rates going, what do you think about the market, you should confidently be able to answer those questions, because you are a student and you are constantly feeding your brain with what is actually happening in the market. Because we always say this, knowledge is one part of it, but the articulation of it is a whole different animal. So man, I appreciate this conversation on a high level. I'm looking forward to doing more sessions with you in the future. So let's just give Minh a round of applause, say thank you for being here. If you are a guest here on the line today, and if you'd like to participate in future Keep It Moving sessions, make sure to give me a follow on social media. That way we can get you in and get you registered. Lastly, Judith, if you can make me look as cool as Minh's assistant had him look when he was showing slides, Judith, I would really appreciate the ability to be able to move my head around in that way, because I've never done that. But Minh, I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you just spending your time with us. So you guys, we're going to actually wrap up this session, but I wanted to just send everybody a farewell and say thank you. As always, you guys, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. If you need anything at all, I'm here for you guys. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you once again, Minh, and peace. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. See you guys.